everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a pretty intense topic, UFC fight purses. We're gonna explore how fighter pay has evolved over the years, especially with the recent fight between Pereira and Magomed Ankalaev.
So, stick around as we unpack this, and yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment below. Alright, so, let's get right into it. The UFC has come such a long way since its early days.
It's not just about fighting anymore. It's this massive global phenomenon. But with that growth, there's a serious conversation happening about how much these fighters actually get paid.
Like, can you believe some of them still struggle to make ends meet? So, in the recent bout, Pereira and Ankalaev, both fighters reportedly earned some pretty decent paychecks.
But when you look at what they're making now compared to historical payouts, it's wild. Back in the day, fighters were making, like, a fraction of what they earn now.
There was a time when guys would step into the octagon for just a few $1,000s. Can you imagine? Let's rewind a bit. In the early UFC years, some fighters were getting paid as little as $4,000 for their third fight.
I mean, that's just insane when you think about the risks they take. Then, in 2012, debut fighters were raking in around $6,000, and by 2013, it was up to about $8,000 for newcomers. Fast forward a few years, and there were definitely variations, but the struggle was real for many. Thinking about this, it really hits home, right? You have these athletes putting their bodies on the line, yet the pay gaps are huge.
The top stars are making millions, while lower-tier fighters are left to navigate financial difficulties. I can only imagine the emotional toll this takes on them, like, the stress of not being able to support themselves or their families.
It's heartbreaking to think how many fighters are out there feeling undervalued and underappreciated. And speaking of feelings, there have been some pretty vocal reactions from fighters themselves. Take John Makdessi, for example.
He took to social media to express his concerns about fighter pay, and it resonated with a lot of people. It's just so raw and real when these fighters share their struggles. It's like they put their hearts and souls into this sport, and then they have to fight for fair compensation too. It's a lot to unpack. Reflecting on all this, it's clear we've come a long way, but there's still so much work to be done.
The evolution of UFC pay structures is ongoing, and it's important for us to keep this conversation alive. Like, we need to advocate for fighter rights and ensure they're compensated fairly for their efforts.
It's not just about the money, it's about respect and recognition for their craft. So, while it's easy to focus on the negatives, let's try to find a silver lining here. The fact that fighters are speaking out is a step in the right direction. It shows a growing awareness and willingness to address these issues, and honestly, that gives me a bit of hope. There's a community out there that's ready to support these athletes, and that's something to be grateful for. As we wrap up, I just want to encourage everyone to keep this dialogue going. Let's not shy away from discussing fighter compensation. Your voice matters, so if you found this video insightful, please hit that like button, subscribe for more content, and drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you think about fighter pay and how we can push for change in this sport. Thanks for tuning in, and remember, every fighter deserves to be valued for their hard work and dedication. Let's keep advocating for what's right.